Our top focus this morning is the announcement that was made by Congress MP Rahul Gandhi in Punjab yesterday, putting an end seemingly to the fight over the CM face for the Congress unit in Punjab. For months now, we at India Today have been reporting the war of Sardars that's been ongoing in Punjab. And now, finally, the Congress party has chosen Charanjit Singh Channi as a face, not Navjot Singh Sidhu. What really does this mean for the party? Well, so far as optics go right now, when the announcement was made yesterday, Navjot Singh Sidhu didn't object, went on to even hug Charanjit Singh Channi, ending the suspense. And with it, Sidhu's defiant bid to become the party's CM face. Rahul Gandhi said that the people of Punjab wanted a chief minister from a humble background in the Congress opinion poll, and then went on to announce that Charanjit Singh Channi is the CM face. Navjot Singh Sidhu, who's the Punjab Congress chief and was also in contention to be the party's CM face, hailed Rahul Gandhi, saying only he could have made a Dalit the chief minister of Punjab. So far, it looks like Sidhu is on board.
पंजाब के लोगों ने कहा हमें गरीब घर का चीफ मिनिस्टर चाहिए। मुश्किल डिसीजन था, आपने आसान बना दिया। पंजाब के चीफ मिनिस्टरियल कैंडिडेट चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी जी।
And let's take this across to Kamaljit Sandhu, who's joining us live with the latest updates on the story. Kamaljit, good morning. For weeks now, you've been reporting about the kind of infighting within the Punjab Congress and how Sidhu and Channi were fighting it out to be the CM face. The speculation has ended. Optics-wise, it didn't seem like Sidhu had an issue with the announcement of Channi as the CM face. But what's the reality on the ground? Because, in the run-up to that announcement, Sidhu did try to pile pressure on the High Command.
Not many people were surprised when Charanjit Singh Channi's name was doing. He was leading the race. Several people had done. And Rahul Gandhi announced what was really on unexpected lines. What is also significant is that he is a big Dalit face. 32.5% is the population, majorly in Doaba region. This is where and he's also contesting from two of the seats, both in Malwa region. This is where Congress is pitted against the Aam Aadmi Party in a fierce fight. Now, we are also looking at anti-incumbency. Meanwhile, the Congress wants to highlight the 111 days. But remember, there have been controversies even with Charanjit Singh Channi. Earlier, it was the Me Too allegation, which has now again been raised by the opposition parties. The other being the ED raids and subsequent arrest of nephew of Charanjit Singh Channi. Meanwhile, the surveys have actually shown that a lot of people, and this could be a major sway as far as the Dalit votes are concerned, several of the pockets have shown positive response to the announcement of Charanjit Singh Channi. Eventually, what it will boil down to is not Congress versus Congress, which was initially troubling the Congress party. The grand old party is now looking forward to having a fierce contest with the Aam Aadmi Party, only to ensure that they can move ahead and not show the infighting that has been troubling the grand old party.
Okay.
What is very clear is how will Sidhu react in the coming next days is also to be seen. He is not tweeted since the entire program has taken place. He's obviously upset. He was in contention for the CM post. He's a big Judge Singh. That is one of the contention. The other is, will the Judge Singh vote for Charanjit Singh Channi? Because right now the calculation is that the Dalits who hold a sway of 32.5% are the ones who are kind of Charanjit Singh Channi. But what the Congress is hoping is that an impressive performance during the 111 days, his handling of the controversies, his handling of positions, his tenure itself could prove the mettle. But clearly, Congress party has to do much more, not only show united front, but also move strength to strength. But right now, the Congress party has been facing several factions, and this could be least of the troubles. They would want to put all this behind them and move forward with Charanjit Singh Channi as the declared CM candidate for the Congress party.
That's right, and that's why they're also revamping their entire campaign. Time will tell, of course, whether Congress's gamble has paid off by backing Charanjit Singh Channi. Kamaljit, request you to stay on with us. We're getting in a reaction also on the story. And here's the reaction that's coming in from Akali Dal's Bikram Singh Majitia. Remember, he's squaring off against Navjot Singh Sidhu in Amritsar East, and he's reacted to the fact that the Congress High Command has pinned their hopes on Charanjit Singh Channi, firing a corruption attack at Channi. Here's what Majitia has told us here on India Today. He said that the Congress party has stood up for corruption again in Punjab and that they've named a person against whom charges of corruption, against whom Me Too charges have been levelled. He's also gone on to state that the Congress has looted Punjab in the last 5 years. Listen in to exactly what Majitia said.
Congress has put its weight behind a leader who's facing serious allegations of serious corruption, whose family is in the dock. Mr. Channi, who's also there are allegations of Me Too against him. A person who was accused by a senior officer, IS officer, lady officer, of misbehaving with her or sending her inappropriate messages. So that's the kind of leadership that Congress wants to give the state of Punjab. I guess the people of Punjab are ready to reject this Congress party that has only looted the people of the state for the last 5 years.
Taking this back across to Kamaljeet. Kamaljeet, you know, in the last few weeks and months, the fact that there's been so much infighting within the Punjab Congress has always provided fodder for the opposition, which is what the Congress was so very scared about. And the fact that now they've chosen Channi, the opposition is banking on the fact that Sidhu will revolt.
Well, the opposition was very quick to react to Charanjit Singh Channi's name, which is whether it's Akali Dal, whether it's the PLC. Remember, Giants wants Navjot Singh Sidhu and direct attack on Charanjit Singh Channi. This is also unexpected lines. Remember, these are the two tall leaders of the Congress party. But the sand mafia attack itself seems very serious. And as I told you, this is going to dent Charanjit Singh Channi's image. They have tried to distance themselves, saying if a relative is involved, doesn't mean the onus and responsibility is with the Chief Minister. And this is where things really stand as of now. They're trying to put this entire controversy, they're trying to label this as a vendetta. They're trying to say that BJP has been using the election department, as they refer to ED as. And this is where things really stand. But the other part is perception war is another battle game altogether. And this is where Congress is trying to hit back hard. Meanwhile, this is tutu meme between the opposition. But will it end the tutu meme between the Congress party is the big question. Meanwhile, Congress, which has been a divided house, can it put its weight right behind Charanjit Singh Channi and take advantage? Right. Otherwise, it's the Aam Aadmi Party versus the Congress. Remember, Bhagwant Man's name was announced. So these are going to be leaders who are going to be fighting it out for now.
All right, Kamaljeet, thank you for the moment for joining us with all of those details.